everybody, Josh here, SNE Weather. Just want to give you guys an update on tomorrow's storm, and it should be quite the storm if certain things move forward in certain directions. So from as of right now, this is the Storm Prediction Center's website. You can see there's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms out in North Carolina. But as you see, our area, I would say from Plymouth to the Mass Rhode Island, Mass Connecticut borders, um, and southward has a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms. The main threats, here you go, the winds. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, the website just updated. Um, the main threat's going to be winds in this area. Greatest threat's going to be down in the Carolinas, but I have no doubts in my mind for 1 second that there's going to be a lot of wind damage in this area. I'll show you show you why on the computer models in a few moments. And then there's also the risk of a tornado. A tornado or two, one or two tornadoes possible in the entire green area. The further south you get, the better chance of seeing a tornado. Um, I would say south of New Jersey, southwestern New Jersey has the greatest risk. Um, outside of here, I mean, they're the greatest risk, but in the 2% area, I would say southwestern New Jersey has the greatest risk, according to the Storm Prediction Center. We do have a chance of one or two tornadoes. It is possible just because the upper level low is going to be out here. And since we're going to be out in the eastward side, there's going to be a warm front that pushes through southern New England. And where that sets up and everything will determine if we end up with a tornado or not in our area. Excuse me. Usually, when these things happen, it always seems like it's in Connecticut. So I'm gonna say, wouldn't be surprised if Connecticut ends up with a tornado, as history has shown. All right, let's get into the models. Here we go. So let's get the time frame of this. So for as of right now, uh, rain should start arriving between 7 and 9 a.m. tomorrow. As you see, as time goes on, it starts filling in more and more. Uh, this is about 10 a.m. So as you can see, it's probably like just drizzly, kind of cool. Actually, I don't even think it's going to be that cool tomorrow, but I didn't even look into the temperatures yet. But from what I understand, from what I've seen in past models, it should be like 50s and 60s tomorrow. So yeah, rain moves in. Um, Moving it a little further, you can see the heaviest of the rain starts coming in about what is that, about 12, around noon. So after 12 o'clock is when you start seeing the heaviest of the rainfall. I'm looking at these, and I mean, like this cell here, I'd be interested to keep an eye on something like that. I don't see a lot of curling with these cells. I mean, obviously this is a computer model. Um, I don't see a lot or anything that suggests to me that the risk of a tornado. I mean, maybe that, maybe this, but I'm not too impressed with what I'm seeing. But it could be underdone by the computer mouse. Like, see, this is what I would want to look out for. That's definitely something right there. Even this is something I would watch as well. Like when I start seeing cells doing that, kind of giving that the look, as I like to call it, that's usually when I start getting alarmed. And you don't see a lot of that. I mean, you can see a little bit here, but you don't see a lot. There's not a whole ton, right here in Nantucket. Just taking a look. Yeah, I don't didn't really see much when I looked at it originally. Um, I mean, these cells I would watch. I would watch that one too. So there are some cells that do look like has the potential. Ooh, that's a good one right there. Um, so we'll just have to keep an eye on it and see if anything happens. But the time frame for the rainfall between 7 and 9, and once it gets after about, let's say, after 10, everybody should be getting into it. And then around 12, it should be the heaviest starting to come in. And that lasts us until, let's see, what time is this? This is like, I think this is about 5. No, that was 7, sorry. Yeah, because here's 8 o'clock, this is at night, and then it pushes out. So most of tomorrow afternoon will be rainy and it will be windy. So let's go to the next one. This is sustained winds. And this is something that we will be monitoring tomorrow. Um, is the sustained winds because these winds are going to be pretty well sustained. About 20 to 40 miles per hour. The sustained wind should be arriving about between 12 and 2 p.m. And then the worst is going to be after 3 p.m. Now that's sustained. This is not gust. This is just constant wind of 20 miles per hour or greater. That's what this is. And that's what I'm showing you here. So, some areas like, look at Providence, 31, 37. I think that's North Central Airport in Lincoln. You got 30 here, 32, 33, very close to tropical storm strength on on the wind scale. And then, yeah, so about 20 to 40 miles per hour it's sustained is what it's looking like here. We'll go to the next one. These are the wind gusts, and you can see these winds are gusting between 50 and 70 miles per hour. And one other thing is these areas of white here, that's over 84 miles per hour. 84 mile per hour winds just off the coast, just off it. I mean, even these gray areas are 70 or greater. Um, Yeah, like actually all these like you can see right here, 68 is the reds, and then it goes right to 70. So these darker colors are all 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So I would say from Providence to Boston, south and east, like pretty much something like this. Just how this is showing, just like that. Expect 60 mile per hour wind gusts or greater. I'm gonna get into the euro on this too. And the wind should start gusting about right around 9 a.m. tomorrow. All right, that's precipitation. I thought I had the other map here. Um, and you can see that right here. The winds start moving in. We got gusts to about 30 to 40 miles per hour. And this is about 11. I think this is about 11 o'clock. Yeah, I believe it's 11 o'clock in the morning. So the winds are already starting to gust into the 30s, and then the worst of it starts coming in after 1 p.m. So yeah, it's going to be a very gusty day. Rainfall amounts. I'm sticking with my 2 to 4 inches that I said originally. This is something we'll have to keep an eye on because this is models are this area. Some I've seen models come all the way over here, and I've seen it all the way off the coast. But I do think 2 to 4 inches is most likely will happen. Here's the euro, and you can see the euro. Same thoughts, not too far off from what the NOM is showing. Here's another one for the euro. These are sustained winds as well, and as you can see, not too far away from what the knob is suggesting. So 20 to 40 mile per hour winds sustained right there. And here are your gusts, and it's pretty much the same thing right in this area. And you can see that gray area trying to come in of about 50 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. All right, so the next map I'm going to show you is this is the 925 level of the atmosphere. These winds are not in miles per hour. This is knots. These winds are in knots, and this is the euro. And This area here, this is 70-mile-per-hour winds at a couple of thousand feet over our heads. If this area, these showers and thunderstorms come in, they're going to have the potential of bringing some of those winds down to the surface. So, although it says this, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody walks out with a 70 to 80, maybe not a 90-mile-per-hour gust, possible. Um, I would say definitely between 70 and 80. Without a doubt, a couple areas it's possible from some of these other thunderstorms. And just to show you, oh, I didn't do it the way I wanted it to. Let me try this again. One second. Actually, I'll just go here. So let's take a look at the NOM, and the NOM. I mean, it's not far off. It's showing these winds even greater. I mean, look, 78, 78 miles per hour at 925 millibars. I mean, this right here, you're talking about 85 to 90 mile per hour winds. That's just a couple thousand feet over our heads. We move it forward, and oh, you could see these are like from Boston, Providence, and extreme southeast of Connecticut, with the potential of these winds being just overhead. And all it takes is a good downpour or a uh, um, thunderstorm to bring these winds down. So this is something we'll have to keep an eye on and see if that ends up happening. Whether or not it happens remains to be seen, but the models are reflecting these winds. They are showing it. I mean, look, 60 to 70 miles per hour. And what's interesting is a couple days ago, the euro was backing off, and now it's gone back up. So tomorrow doesn't look like a great day at all. I right now I would say sus expect sustained winds of 20 to 40 miles per hour. See if I can find that map. Here we go. So as you can see in this green area here, 20 to 40 miles per hour, pretty much Providence to Boston south and east, and along the coast. And then um, the wind gusts, I'm going 50 to 70 miles per hour, but I do believe there's going to be some isolated areas that are over 70, 70 plus. So those are things that I'm watching, keeping an eye out for. I'm not too thrilled about the whole idea of a tornado or two. I think if that happens, the models are not really showing it, especially on the radar. I just don't see the hook echoes that you would want to see inside for a tornado to form. So, but doesn't mean it can't happen because these winds are going to be howling overhead. So it won't take much or for too long for something to pop. Excuse me. So I'll be watching this tomorrow, and I will try to keep you guys updated as much as I can. And everybody have a great day, and I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving.